Because here we have arguably one of my favorite sections of this whole call, which is the Cadets Corner, where we get to hear some community voices. People get to come and speak about things that matter to all of us here. And first up, we have just one of the goats over here from the community. You already know him. You already love him. Drop a little JM in the chat for Julian. Julian, what can you tell us about the cadet culture as you see it?
No, yeah, yeah. Before I start, I just want to say like I'm super happy right now because I just heard from like the Bird Eye founder and CEO. Because honestly, Bird Eye is like my, if not my favorite, if not my second favorite product, behind Jupiter and so on.
That's it.
Okay,
Good
so
fix. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, let's move on to the cadet culture, right? So I think the thing about cadets is that we as the cadets, all of us, we are really key to the Jupiter ecosystem. Like yesterday, I was just like scrolling through the Discord and I saw like, Cryptic, they kind of asked like a question about, what is the number of projects that Jupiter should actually, the launchpad should actually launch each month. And he asked for like everyone to give their opinions and so on. So there were like lots and lots of incredibly well thought out responses in the Discord channel. So I think it's really, really great. Like everyone was bringing their own wealth of experiences and culture from diverse backgrounds to the issue. And it was like a pleasure to read through like all the different opinions and viewpoints and to kind of like learn from everyone. And basically, I think like not to mention is like cadets are basically like running the show in like all the LFG channels, like asking the project owners about the project, be it the Cat of Cultures or the Space Cadets, all of them are very instrumental in helping all these channels run very, very smoothly. And I personally really appreciate like every single cadet in the Jupiter ecosystem. And I just want to give like a few special shout outs to a few Cat of Cultures. So like Doc LJ, he always with his deep and insightful responses to topics, helping to keep the channels on point. Crypto GVA, he's always around to answer everyone's questions and offer his sincerest help. Golden Egg for helping to organize the discussion points, keeping everyone up to date with the latest info in the forums, and also like painstakingly syncing up the channels. Mark, Guac, and Smoke Coins, always keeping up the vibes and being friendly to everyone. And basically, there's like so many of them. I can't really name everyone here, but the Discord is really, really a vibrant place because of all these cadets and Cat of Cultures contributions. So I think that really, I think like this cadet call is really being carefully selected by the Cat of Cultures, the moderators, the JWGs, right? And each cadet really embodies the Jupiter's ethos and proactively helps to grow the Jupiter ecosystem and the meta. So really a strong, resilient cadet culture equals to like a strong Jupiter DAO and a strong LFG launchpad and help Jupiter to grow the meta basically, right? So and I think like relatedly, like the other day there was this topic about like doing due diligence on projects and stuff. While Jupiter itself may not have the resources to kind of like formalize this, but with so many cadets around and like different background, different experiences, there's kind of like a natural check and balance in place for the entire LFG process as well, right? And this whole like introductions and LFG AMAs that all the core working group members are hosting, they really provide many opportunities for cadets to get their queries answered and to help others around that to kind of understand the projects better. So ultimately, I think cadets as the core members of the DAO, they could really potentially play a very, very big role or much bigger role in influencing which projects get featured on the LFG launchpads for voting as well in the future, right? And I think lastly is like the existing cadets really have a huge role to play in growing this cadet core. Like more and more people will flood into this Discord over time with the growth in Solana's ecosystem. Huge growth coming with like all the sale of the Solana mobile and things like that. And the influx of more and more launch projects, right? Because like as projects launch, their community will join us as well in Jupiter Discord. So the existing cadets will have a huge role to play in passing on this culture of Jupiter to the new ones, to the newcomers, right? So I feel like what really sets Jupiter apart from like many projects is really like the high standards of transparency, fairness, and like a unique blend of kind of like memes and seriousness in the approach, right? So there's also like I don't know how to describe it, but like a particular cat-like culture to the space, kind of like. But personally, I'm a cat owner, right? And like, it's actually quite hard to get a cat's attention sometimes, right? But once they kind of get comfortable and fixated on something, they'll kind of stick around. So I think many of the cadets in the Discord are really, really driven by a very keen sense of interest and passion for Solana and the Web3 space, and they will kind of like focus on problems and solve them and issues and solve them. So I'm very, very hopeful, and I think I'm very optimistic that actually this group of cadets will more over time attract more and more cadets into this ecosystem, into this space. Yeah. So hopefully we
Julian,
see like this
just want
whole
to say
space
real quick
being.
that just want to say real quick, thanks, man. Thanks for anchoring so many things, man. Like, not just in cadet, but also the zero subculture, right? You're anchoring as well. So yeah, so super excited for you, and yeah, thanks, man. And then you're right. I think I think everyone who knows Julian in the chat, give him a big shout out. And yeah, I think the whole point here is that thank you, Julian, and thank you all the cadets, thank you cat culture, right? We would love to feature a lot more cat culture and cadets, right? So yeah, keep it going, and let us really, really grow the first let's really grow the first community, right? That is helpful and relentless on pushing the meta, right? And then we can do that because I think once we are able to have this community core, I think the sky's the limit, right? Because whatever I want to do in the future, right, requires this core community that's helpful, generous, and and visionary, right? So let's do it. Yeah.
One of my favorite
Yep.
sayings, I get this from Akshay BD and Balaji and a few others, is decentralization does not mean the absence of leaders. It means the abundance of them. And I think Julian is able to kind of represent that in the
Perfect.
community.
Perfect.
Yeah, and we're going to see a lot
Perfect.
more of this coming through. If you want to become a cadet, add some value in the Discord, be helpful, be kind, be patient, bring people on and help it grow that pie. And you too will be a cadet very soon.